Good morning. Top of the morning to you. This morning we'll talk about attitude and how it affects your destiny in life. A great friend of mine, top achiever in the real estate business, once came to me and told me that real estate has come down a lot. The opportunities are not there like they used to be. He said that many times we've gone out to sell houses, but there weren't as many houses there are to sell to make the commission that he used to make. He developed an attitude, a poor attitude about real estate and the opportunities inherent. I can also go back to my own belief and realize that many times in life, in my success story, that there were times that I didn't expect. And if we've been in business more than 3 years, we know that there will be those offsetting times that we no longer achieve what we had anticipated to achieve. Well, how do we come out of those times? Well, many times we learn that the greatest opportunity is within ourselves and not the circumstances. We have to divorce ourselves from the circumstances and look at ourselves as privileged individuals. Many times we have outside forces that influence us, and we put too much emphasis on those forces. And many times we have an opportunity to capitalize on those forces. And if we look at the things that have worked against us, we come to realize that those are opportunities. Every setback can be a setup for a greater comeback. We must look at those setbacks as an opportunity and not a deterrent. And that's important. It's a mindset. Many times we've done well in life, and certainly there was a little girl that was selling jewelry and she was doing quite well with it, but she got to feeling bad about it because others had been selling jewelry and she didn't see herself as a special individual. Well, that's too bad. And also, if we go to college, we learn that unless you're in athletics, you're not going to be taught about attitude and how attitude affects your altitude in life. It's always attitude, not aptitude, that affects your altitude in life. And we come to realize that that's not taught in school. Attitude control, attitude discipline is not taught. And so how do we acquire that? Well, we list the good things that we've done in life, the things that we have done that have been successful. Make a solid list of those, concentrate on those. The things that have become disappointments, that have become a stroke on our attitude, we need to list them also and list what it is that has caused us not to do as well as we thought we could do well, and learn from those things. Learn from our mistakes, not hold us back from further opportunities. That's important. And attitude is all about aptitude, and therefore we will achieve the level of success that we would like to achieve. Many times in history, we see people that have had the great attitudes but were hampered by certain setbacks. We look at Michael Jordan as a great athlete and really deemed as one of the top, if not the best, basketball players of all times. But we come to realize that he missed over 9,000 game-winning shots, and 22 of those would have been championship shots that would have won the ball game for him. He said, I failed, and I failed, and that's why I was successful. Albert Schweitzer, who over the years had become great because of his setbacks. Albert Einstein, a great mathematician, and his theory of relativity changed the science world forever. But yet, he, as a student in school, he was a very much of a disturbed individual. He was expelled 3 times from high school, junior high and high school. Well, he finished his degree, high school degree at Zurich Polytechnic Institute, and then he applied for a job as an instructor there. But he was turned down because nobody would support him. Nobody would put in a good word for him. He went for the work for the government, and they were very intrigued by his mathematical equations. Consequently, he developed the theory of relativity, which changed the universe as far as science. There were also times of Billie Jean King, who was overweight and told her friends at school that someday she was going to be a great champion. Well, they laughed at her. You're over 50 pounds overweight. You're not going to be a tennis champion. Well, with 39 grand champions and 16 doubles, nobody was laughing at her anymore. Well, attitude and not aptitude is responsible, again, as for our altitude in life. Your reach must always be further than your grasp. And this is something that has proven to be successful throughout our lives. List the good things that you've done in life. Look at those good things. I know I have listed my good things. I graduated from high school. I sold books door to door, and when I was in college, I recruited as a 20-year-old. And I ended up being in that business for 19 years. I would have never dreamed checking into college that I'd be selling books for 19 years. But that's the way it worked out. And the last 11 of those years was my own company that I had. And I sold that to a Fortune 500 company. Later, I developed ability to get into privately managed futures accounts, starting with Merrill Lynch. And many setbacks, many no's. Many no's when I was knocking on doors selling books. Most of the doors were no's. Matter of fact, doors rattled so loud that the paint would come off. It seemed like the rattling of the doors would rattle the windows in a way. Well, I kept on keeping on. I never quit my goals. And this is what it is about attitude. Sometimes you may think, well, your product is so good, but yet the others are so good too that you might develop a negative attitude. Many times you might have been a part of a winning team that received trophies and honors, but yet you knew that you did not contribute a lot to that team that contributed honors, and you received an honor and a trophy. You might have been one of 20 of a baseball team or an athletic team, and the top 5 certainly achieved. The top 9 in a baseball team certainly achieved, the honors because of the winning that they did. But yet you were there and you received an honor too. And you may have a low self-esteem because you were not one of the ones that were on the top of the list. Well, list your attributes. List the things that you have done well in life. Are you a dynamic person? Are you dependable? Are you honest with people? Are you considerate? Are you enthusiastic and compassionate type person? You are a special individual. There's nobody else on the planet. Of the 7.6 billion people on the planet, there's nobody like you. There's nobody that has the attributes that you have. Yes, there will be setbacks. There will be times that we wish we weren't there. But yet, you look at the ultimate goal, and you will propel yourself to be better than you think you can be. There might be sometimes some things holding you back in life. I know there was many times that we had setbacks we didn't anticipate. Well, that's okay. You list the things that you did wrong, and what is it that you learned from those things? What is it that you could have done different that would have had different results? List those things, focus on those things. You must separate yourself as the person from the event. That is important. Do not relate yourself as the event that worked out to be less than what you hoped it would be. This is an important thing, the insight that you need to take on consideration. We all have setbacks and setups that will be better for us if we look at them in a positive way. But now, you list your good things that you've done in life and look at those things. And that's an important attribute. We have a self-image that we will, first of all, you need to make a change. We make a change. And then the second is you expect to improve because of that change. Anything you've done that not quite the result that you'd like to do, look at those things and focus on those things as an asset, not as a detriment. Don't hit yourself and beat yourself down because you have made some mistakes that you've not achieved to the level immediately that you hoped to achieve. That's not the right way to look at it. There's many athletes, there's many people in life that have started out with very bad results, but yet continued on to be great success stories. My life, I didn't start out to be a big bookseller. I have had to deal with dyslexia all my life. And that first year was very difficult for me. But the next year in sales school, I went back and I talked to people that had done very well and asked them, what is the difference of what you're doing and what I have been doing? And I learned from them. Listen to motivational, inspirational type movies that great people like Zig Ziglar, Norman Vincent Peale that have put out, and books that they have produced. Read those books, learn from those books, and you will change your attitude about yourself and about others and about the endeavors that you have an opportunity to accomplish. There's many times that we all have been hit with setbacks, but learn from those setbacks. That's the big thing. It's not to let them be an anchor to your life and to your aspirations of success. What valuable person that you are. You are a child of God. You are a special individual. You're a giant killer. You're a history maker. Realize that. Understand that. Believe that. Live that. You're a child of victory. You are a child of victory. And don't let those setbacks hurt you. When I'm at peace, I'm in power. There's no doubt about it. You can be in peace, and you know that nothing happens to me, it happens for me. And it's only for you that's the benefit of the setbacks. Opening a closed door leads to something better. You know, there may be something on the other side that you never expected that would be there. And only if you keep your goal, your aspirations in mind, will you ever achieve and see that. God will never let me to a place that he can't sustain me. Never lead you to a place that he can't sustain me. That's a very important quote. And that's something I've lived by all my life. I know that I'm put here for a purpose. I'm not here by accident. And you are too. You are here for a purpose. You are a special individual. And don't let the setbacks be deterrent into a change. You only leave to go to something better. You don't leave to get away from. And that's the problem that most people will have. And that's why successful people are interested in pleasing results, whereas failures are interested in pleasing methods. They never find that what they are looking for because they're always changing because of the setbacks. And that's not the way to live. That's not the way to be happy. That's not the way to be successful in life. Look at the opportunities within, and you will be a better person because of it. And the advice of Charles Swindoll, I'm going to read this quote. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearances, giftedness, or skills. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. And it is so with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. Charles Swindoll. And truer words have never been spoken. Don't panic. Understand that perspective is the key. You are a special individual. And if these insights have been a benefit to you, pick up a copy of my book. Pick up a copy of my book that'll give you the opportunity, the insight that will lead you on for a lifetime. The Winning Advantage, Tap into Your Richest Resources is the book. And so many have gotten extra copies for gifts, especially around Christmas time. It's yours to keep, yours to make. And thank you. Looking forward for next week. Good night. Goodbye. Not good night, but goodbye. Use your talents, embrace your abilities, and pick up a copy of my book. Click the link on my website, thewinningadvantage.com, and purchase one of my books on Amazon. See you next week, Tuesday, 9 o'clock.